was insane.
I didn't like this movie at all. I fucking hate this movie.
But I'm so happy he's dead.
I hate this movie so fucking much, man. Like, this is the worst one I think we've watched for sure. Like,
I was talking so much. I was getting so mad.
Yeah, I do know why, man. But I hope I never see this fucking movie again in my life. It is awful movie.
I just don't even know what to say, to be honest. Like, I am conflicted.
I mean, I get the messaging, of course, but like, I don't like two things that I noted. I don't like how the responsibility for informing people about racism is on the shoulders of black people or other, non-white people. That's not my fucking, like, I don't feel obligated to tell white people to stop being pieces of shit. Like, that's not like something that I feel like I should have to do. And like, that's so annoying. And then I also didn't like I just hated this movie, man. Like I hate this movie so much, yo. Like,
I can't say anything good about this movie.
I mean, I really don't. I don't know. It was
like
I feel like.
Sorry.
Oh, what were you saying? What were you saying?
I looked up the guy just to see like what kind of fucking movies he makes. And I kind of want to know more about this dude, but I was like, this movie, like, I feel like this movie is trying to be something that it couldn't be. Like, I feel like this movie was trying to be like a socially responsible, like, oh, white people need to be aware that racism exists and that other white people need to also like confront their racist like friends and family about their racism and let them know that they're fucking, that they're doing the wrong thing by perpetuating racism and passing it on to their children and other people that they know. Just like how at the end where she told the guy he was an asshole for like, teaching the dog how to be a racist or whatever. And I was like, I get it. Like, I get it. People who are white, who are not racist, it's not enough to not be racist. They have to also tell other people to get their shit together. But the burden still falls on the black people more than anything. And I don't like that shit at all. Like,
yeah, this movie was very like, trash, very racist. This dog, like the dog that the very first black person that the dog killed is never mentioned again. And like, how much money went into that scene? How much money went just into that scene just to show that black man die, just for him to never be mentioned ever again.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck was the point? What was even the point of like this movie could have easily just insinuated what happened without like literally showing you this fucking dog like murdering. Like, this dog killed like 3 black people. Like, or he killed 2 people. He injured 1. He, like, I mean, the one thing I would like to say about this movie, I guess, kind of to his credit, is that racism or like that kind of energy at like period. It's just like, remember in the book they were talking about like how after racism like tries to eradicate black people and other non-white people, after we're all subjugated, then who's next? Other white people. Like how at the end the dog attacked the fucking white guy. I thought I don't know if that was the director's intention or if that's just something I'm reading into it from like after reading the ISIS papers or whatever. But that's something I picked up on. Kind of. I guess it wasn't like nuanced or anything. It was kind of right in your fucking face. But that's just what I thought.
I didn't like that the girl that got killed from the dog got hurt by the dog, didn't get any money or anything. He just said it was an accident. That didn't make no sense.
Yeah, I would have been taxing that white woman like, you need to come up off some duckies. That dog fucking bit her goddamn shoulder off. I was like, goddamn, bro. What is this shit?
I feel like the movie is supposed to be like a subliminal thing that white people watch, and then at the end they realize, you can't end racism, white supremacy without killing the white man. Yep. Therefore, let's not try to end this at all. Yep. Because at the end
yes.
It's like literally
oh my god.
Yeah. I feel like the ending there was kind of like symbolism because he kind of just ended up like after all that hard work, they still killed the dog, and it's kind of just like no matter what, like it's just in their nature or something.
And it's like the dog cannot change. Like like, no matter what, like no matter what you do, no matter how kind you treat the dog, and obviously the dog was a metaphor. I mean, all you need is 2 eyes. You don't even need to read the ISIS papers to see that shit. Like, I don't think. I mean, I think that having that context can like,
well, yeah,
be a lot more aware. But I'm just saying, like, anybody with surface level common sense can watch this fucking movie and go, racism bad. Like, you know, like, fuck. Like, I really hate this movie so much, bro. Like, I'm really fucking mad I watched this movie. Like, I wanted to.
Well, I thought I like it because it's not just racism bad. It's who's the real culprit of racism? White people.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The white person dies because of it, and everyone in the theater who watched this movie is probably white, and all they thought is,
oh, that's a good point. That's a good social experiment.
Racism, white supremacy, because we will be the ones that have to die.
I think that
the movie is very racist in other
ways. Yeah.
Don't fight for
that's racism. A good point, Ash. That's a damn good point.
Anyway.
Yeah, it reminds me. Yeah. It reminds me of the part where like she's like, there's like it's a white dog, and you have to kill it, and then she's like, why don't you kill the people who trained it? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you like this white woman does not care about black people at all. Like,
at all. She didn't give a fuck. Like even
white,
after she
white woman in general, racist man, racist woman, racist child, racist dog.
Can we talk about how her boyfriend was trying to tell her like off the rip, like this dog is like no fucking good. You need to get rid of this dog.
Listen.
Like everybody around her was telling her that this dog is bad fucking news. But she's just like, no, we can get him cured. It took a man being murdered in the church for her to go, you know what? Maybe this dog, maybe he's beyond redemption, like, or whatever the fuck. Like, this movie is just all over the place. I feel like it's trying to, the movie, I think the movie thinks it's smarter than it is. And it's really not a fucking like groundbreaking, intelligent movie. It's just art house nonsense. It's fucking stupid as fuck. It's so dumb.
Disrespectful, the fact that they made like when the black people, like, first of all, there was so much trauma in the black people's eyes when the dogs were like attacking, but like when the dog attacked and they made the black person say, oh, well, you need to call the police. Like a black person wouldn't know the police is no good. The first thing the police had originally even said was, you got a good dog on you there. Like, so it already confirmed.
Yep. Damn. I wrote that in my notes. Yeah, that's a good ass point. And also, can we talk? Remember earlier in the movie when she first brought the dog home from the pound, and she was trying to give the dog the fucking medicine, and the dog wouldn't take the medicine? Did the dog ever take the medicine at all? Like,
no, he didn't.
Right. Okay. I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna say that medicine would have stopped him from being a racist hound fucking piece of shit dog, but.
That can be symbolic of white people knowing these things.
And rejecting the cute. Come on, bro. Absolutely. Yep.
They know what they gotta do to change the white supremacy, but they don't have the will to do so. You know?
Not that they don't have will, they have zero fucking interest. They don't want to they don't want to stop.
I would say they have no will or interest.
Yeah, agreed.
Friend too, I was irritated by
the black pacifist friend.
Yes.
Like she did. Like from her, and that doesn't make no sense. My mom said she would have
taken her house.
Yeah, took her house.
Sued that motherfucker for everything she got. The hell.
She said it was an accident.
Every black person in that movie was just like so like
lame as fuck. Just lame as hell. Like, I was like, what's up with this guy? And then the dog got these fucking weird ass superpowers, shooting through metal and shit, like fucking evil Airbud and shit. I was like, this movie is fucking nonsense. Like, this movie is just absolute fucking it's just, oh God, it's the worst. It's high key one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Like,
I can't stop talking about it. It's just so bad.
Am I extra ass, or is the movie just awful? Like, oh God damn, I'm really upset right now. I'm really fucking mad.
Movie to think about.
Where the dog like
they're doing
dog trainers, the black man's like crotch area, and it kept on like showing between that shot and that other man with the cigar in his mouth, like directly, like right on, and while like digging at the crotch, and I was thinking,
no subtlety.
Like, trying to teach white people like this is what we're attacking. Like, I don't know. I felt like this was like Like this was progressional for like white supremacy, if that makes sense.
Low key, you really hit the you really hit that shit right on the head. Low key, you kind of definitely hit him with that one. You know, Mary, that was lit.
To how the racist person who trained the dog gave her chocolate, like a black.
Ooh.
It was crazy. That's
Man, come on.
I think this movie is important because a lot of people don't understand like the depth of racism and what has been created from it, and like this movie just touches the surface, but like white people use dogs to like conquer whole nations, to send them into battles, and like some dogs will go into battle and like get like hella kills and be rewarded with medals and like
Oh god damn.
Like so dogs were trained to like castrate black men during antebellum slavery, and like this history is like not in it's like easily accessible, and this movie mentions it briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. Yeah, he barely brings it up. Like,
and like I haven't read the book it's based off of, but I've heard some mentions of it. I think it's maybe an academic.
Is the book any better? Like, do you? I wonder.
The book may be like academic. I don't know. Like, I don't think this book is like a narrative, but I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, moving from the context of white supremacy, like it was like
pretty informative, white mind.
You know, like just the whole white woman kissing the bloody. She came on. His dog came back bloody.
Bro,
I want to say that.
Bro, what the fuck?
When I saw that, I was like, I think she thinks that it's jelly or something. Cause like that doesn't make no sense.
That woman is clearly in denial. That fucking dog came back looking like a goddamn candy cane, red and white all over. I was like, oh, if I had a fucking dog and my dog came back covered in blood, I would take that motherfucker directly to the pound. I'm like, I don't want this evil monster living with me. What the hell is wrong with these fucking people?
Like, don't let me see it attitude, like, for real.
I mean, I can forgive a dog for a lot, but I mean, you clearly killed somebody. Like, the dog is covered in blood. The dog is literally covered in blood. Like,
it doesn't make no sense. It's not jelly, lady.
This is not a small infraction. It's not like the dog pissed on the carpet. The dog came back bloodied. The dog that everybody is telling you is a monster came back covered in blood. And that was not a red flag to you. You just gave the dog a fucking bath and I don't even want to know how that happened. I don't give a shit. Like,
and then she's like, "Oh, you looks like you got into a little fight."
A little fight. Look like he went on a fucking blood slip and slide. That's what the fuck it looks like. Like
that lady was delusional. Like
she didn't know what was happening. Like
she was absolutely delusional. She was crazy. Like that woman was absolutely insane.
I was getting
of a racist woman who knows about racism, but she's doing everything in her power to be naive and to just let it happen, be complacent in it, and encourage it.
Yo, I wrote down in my notes.
Every time the dog tried to was attacking, you just see her slow-mo staring
like a dummy, like a fucking idiot, like a
not gonna do anything about it, like crazy.
And then, like in the hospital, she couldn't even have the decency to tell her friend, my dog is a racist dog.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm just
you know why she didn't tell her ass? Because she didn't want to get sued. She was like, sometimes he just gets tired. You know how he acts.
I really can't stop thinking about why she didn't sue her. Literally.
I also want to talk about that part. That's a good example of how racist.
Yeah, too much black forgiveness also.
That's a good example of how racist man, racist woman use like their words to deceive and lie to people. Because she said like that the dog wasn't like home with her, but like she knew that she like what she was doing, that the dog was still in her possession, but being like so-called treated. So like racist man, racist woman will lie and deceive you. And you want to
Yep. I wrote in my notes. I said I would have said the movie is certified fresh if the dog would have turned around and his eyes glowed yellow like Michael Jackson in Thriller. Then I was like, when I put update, he attacked somebody else at his graduation ceremony.
I just really like the movie was so like peaceful and like calm and like he was not like aggressive at all until black people came on scene. You know,
immediate, bro. As soon as he was like, "Oh shit, is that a black person? Death must kill, must." He was like a sleeper agent or some shit. I was like, this shit is crazy, bro. Like, and then every time I saw, like, bro, when I saw that scene where the little black boy came out with his mom, I was like, if they fuck, I was dead ass about to turn the movie off. I was like, if he fucking attacked this woman and her baby, I'm turning this fucking movie off, and I don't give a fuck how it ends. Like,
I was so scared about that part. I was so scared. I thought he was gonna die.
Me too. I was like, not the
I love
baby.
how they like baited us with that, because it's like, oh, here's black people that you may actually potentially care about. Oh no, we're not actually gonna kill them. We'll just keep killing black men. I was like, what is this?
Wow.
It's still bad. It's still awful. It's still terrible. Like,
I'm so
oh.
scared. Like
And then when the dog killed that dude in the church, then he looked up and it was the dog on the glass panel, and I could have swore I heard the man go, "Lord!" like scream out for God to like save him, like from the evil fucking white dog.
So
I would have kicked that dog in the goddamn head. Oh God. Fucking bastard, evil Satan dog. That's an evil monster dog, yeah.
For me, it's like very much like on the racist side in terms of the director, because like every time the dog attacked a black person, the music sounded like when James Bond like would come in, like dun dun dun. I can't do this thing, but
Loki. Like, I mean, you're right. All hella dramatic as shit. Like the dog was a superhero.
Wait, Mary, can you finish your point? I wanted to hear what the rest you had to say.
Oh yeah, it's just it very much was like a glorification at the moments that the dog attacked any black person because of the music. It was incomplete, but it definitely sounded like the James Bond melody, because I've watched a lot of James Bond movies, and like it's literally like the very beginning of it. So it's almost like on a racist low key, like inciting to say that this is like a positive thing, or like this is the heroic moment. Yeah.
I was getting horror movie vibes low key from the dog. That's what I was getting, but that's an interesting takeaway. But I don't have the same knowledge on Bond film, so you probably definitely have a good point about that. Did anybody enjoy this movie at all? I'm kind of curious. Did anybody?
Did anyone notice how they showed when you first see a black guy, he has a cigar in his mouth and it's just showing his mouth? I can see. Y'all talking about that?
Nope, I wasn't fucking with it, but I wrote it down in my notes.
Yeah. All the black people who work for white people are saying, "Hey, it's okay. Actually, it was an accident." It's so this movie was definitely white supremacy propaganda for sure.
Oh my life, you fucking bro! Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that cigar thing was interesting too, because the white guy at the end also was like had a cigar the whole time too.
And the director. And at the end, the director had a cigar. Who like I guess didn't. Oh no, yeah. When she was working on set before the black woman is attacked by the dog.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's a lot of symbolism.
They should have made Julia do more. Like, she should have spit on that fucking guy for turning that dog to be so aggressive like that. I would have fucking decked that nigga in the mouth, bro, on me. Like, I would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? You get your fucking mind. Like, but I guess I'm black and she's a white woman who's supporting white supremacy by lying to her black friend. Get the fuck out of here. I hate this movie so much, bro. I hate it.
Me too.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
my favorite part of the movie is the zoom into that man's face after Julie told him that the dog was cured by a black man. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, she's like smiling. She's like, and that was so like just naive and like she
was wrong.
Like that's impossible,
Yeah, it's not up to us to cure white people of their affliction. It's not up to us. It's up to them to want to change. Which is
my favorite part was when the dog jumped out the window. I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
Interesting. The
Yeah.
length they took to make this movie like an action dog serial killer movie.
Fucking Vin Diesel dog head ass.
Yeah, and that just like shows the determination and force of like.
Oh, they about to give us the fucking one. Glass first, like what?
Yeah, that dog should have got cut the fuck up. Oh my god. That and then also, I know it's not like necessarily like super important to the plot of the film, but when the cops came to arrest that guy, they were like, "This is the same rapist from last year." I was like, "What the fuck?"
That it's like, you know, how many repeat offender rapists are there? You know, it's like they're so lenient on that type of behavior when it comes to black people, like, you know, trying to provide for their families by like so-called illegal means. They get thrown under the jail, but these rapists out here raping,
make bail, like
like getting like. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. That's really interesting note. You know, how many repeat offender rapists are there? You know, and because I'm sure there's time that says something. You know?
White people need the boogeyman so that they can keep their white racist dog and not feel about it. Like,
yes, they do.
Yeah, just a really good example of like racism, white supremacy, and its effects.
I wrote. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just all the black people were like, none of their deaths were like, you know, seen as like anything meaningful. No more like mention them again.
They were literally just bait.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Thanks. Like there should have been at least some kind of subplot for like the damn police going, "Oh, there's a lot of black people getting killed in this neighborhood" or some shit. Like some kind of attention. You're right. They just were fucking murdered and never talked about again for the entire film.
Yeah.
It wasn't a newspaper article. It wasn't on the news. It was maybe that's something. Maybe there's something to that because there was no outrage.
Yeah, and that shot of that black.
They spent the first half of the movie when I dog. They care about the dog.
Say that again, Trey. I couldn't hear you, bro.
About the black people.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I said the first half of the movie they humanize the dog, and they make you care about the dog, and by using all these like film tropes.
Yeah.
But like how someone was just saying how when the black people died, there's like no more not mentioned ever again. Like no one cries. It's a dead black person.
Just like, oh well, yeah. Like what the fuck? Yeah. What kind of attitude is that? Like
what someone already said.
Is this fucking like? Is this the director, the Sam Fuller guy? I know he's dead, but are all his movies like this? Have anybody else seen any of his films? Is he?
No clue. But
I have no desire now. I have no desire to see any of his fucking movies.
That's a good thing to research.
Yeah, fuck. I'm very upset. Yeah, I'm like trying not to be mad about this shit, but I'm very hot. I'm really pressed. I feel like I shouldn't give a fuck this much about it, but it's really irritating. This movie irritated the fuck out of me.
And like usual trauma porn, like every time they did the dog did like kill a black person, they went really close in like the imagery of the attack. It was just very, very, very like just very reminiscent of slavery, dog catching, killing black people days. It's very
That's exactly what it is.
It's like I was thinking, well, all these black people casted on like how like traumatic they can look in their face. Like, what was the casting element for all of these actors?
And I hated how the guy who was training the dog was like beating himself up because he couldn't fix the dog. Like I hated that. Like, why is he so down on himself for this shit? Like, it's not his fucking fault. Like, I just don't like how they always want black people to have to take the moral high ground. Like, oh, black people have to, you have to set the example. You know, you have to lead the change you want to see and all this other shit. Like, why do I have to lead the change I want to see? Why don't you just stop murdering people? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
it's also very interesting that, like, you know, a black person, two black people are killed by this dog. One is maimed, and they don't kill the dog. But the moment the dog hurts a white man, the black man goes ahead and kills the dog. You know, so it's like
to protect the white supremacy. Oh my god!
it's like
Should have killed the dog when it was black man.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, and they tried to make it look like upset, like, oh man, I did all of that hard work for nothing, and it's like, what?
Who gives a fuck? And then also, what was that part when he took with that guy Charlie? What's his name? I wrote it down. When he was like, Charlie, the dog won't hurt you, I promise. If I was Charlie, I'd be like, are you fucking out of your mind, bro? Hell no. I'm not gonna. No. Charlie is the real MVP, I guess. Actually, he's really dumb. Fuck Charlie. It's stupid. He's dumb. They're all dumb. They're all really stupid.
See everything as symbolism, and like when the dog turned and okay, so the dog apparently was changed, so it didn't kill the black man. Its first response to seeing a white woman was, okay, well then this is the enemy, I must attack. And then she was able to stop the dog's attack through just like her loving gaze and like just giving a bit of herself. And I was just like, is this the symbolism that like white feminization can like suppress the patriarchy or white like white supremacy for like a moment or a second, and then it just saw the male and then it just had to attack. I'm just trying to decode that still.
I like your take on that. I agree with that because you're right. It's only temporary because white women do not have the same powers in white supremacy as white men. White men have a lot more power than they do. So they might have some slight say, but at the end of the day, the policies that are emitted and the actions that are taken are by white men. They create these fucking rules, these laws, like they make the shit up as they go, and then white women are just there to cheerlead for them. Like,
I feel like also it's kind of like white women, like the dog is really there to protect, right? She's like the white womb, like she produces the white like the next white people. So the dog is like protecting her because she has no white man in the home. So
yeah, they did double down on that quite a lot, actually. Hell yeah.
I think that dog was like made to kill because if he trusts black people now, then he has to kill white people now. It's like
wow.
Yeah.
Keen observation from the youth. Thank you, Z. Thank you. Come on, yo.
I think that's so true. I think that's what happened at the end. Like he had discovered a new enemy, and maybe that's symbolically saying that white people don't see themselves changing, so they know they have to die or it has to be killed or be killed. That's their whole motto.
White supremacy is cannibalism, bro.
Yeah.
It's cannibalistic, like fundamentally. Like right now, it's not. But if white supremacy, ideally like kills, black people or all non-white people, once we're all gone, they're gonna turn on themselves next. And it's only a matter of fucking time.
Yep. Whenever there is no colored people.
Well, I don't plan on being gone.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. But I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if we were to all be gone, they're gonna turn on themselves.
I liked how they were talking about like the dog's like psychology. Just like the dog, the fear turned to hate, and then went to attack the black. It was trained to attack the black before the black attacked it. I'm like, white supremacy 101. White supremacy is first. It's a fear.
I hate that part. Yeah.
It's a fear. It's fear due to the genetic inadequacy, and then they developed the system to protect them. And it protects them through going around and attacking everyone who's not them. So it's really
Oh shit! I don't mean to laugh, man, but I mean, what the fuck? That's crazy. That's fucking ridiculous, yeah. That's crazy.
All right, so what did everyone think of the film?
I think we all hated it. I think that's like the general consensus.
I think it was interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was very, very. It was boring, very racist.
As fuck, yes.
Very, very boring, very racist. I did think it has a lot of fun things to decode. I also thought it was interesting when the white guy is throwing the darts at the Star Wars robot, and he was like, "This right here is the enemy," and he threw a dart at it. And to me, whenever you see like a non-human object in a movie, even if it's a robot, it's symbolizing the other. symbolizing black. So I saw him throwing the darts at a black person. You know, did anyone catch that? Him throwing darts at Archie.
I think it represents advancement and technology or melanin or
Remember the first technology that they had was black people during slavery. Yeah, first technology.
Yeah, I thought the movie was very interesting. Definitely like not the best movie. Very like Trey said, yeah, boring, but very interesting racist messages to decode and very interesting propaganda.
I'm looking also at like for me that the casting of the film, and they casted like a very like naive looking American young woman, and I feel like it's made for them to basically watch and understand white supremacy from their perspective or what it will do for them on a light decoding scale. Like, because it was very much like at first the movie, if you didn't know it was a scary movie, you'd think it was like, I don't know, some light Daisy film. The music was very much, I don't know how to describe it. Simplistic. White people would like it. I don't know. Like, it was boring for us, but I feel like white people would like that movie. I feel like it's easy for white women to like and see themselves in that position. Like, it's very canvas. Like, if they could put themselves in that position. Oh, I may need protection. Oh, the man wants to move in with me. I should have protection instead. Oh, the dog seems to want to kill black people. What do I do in this circumstance? Oh, I protect it as much as I possibly can. There's black people out there that want to protect it too, that will try and change the mentality. Oh, it's impossible.
Yeah, I agree, actually, like, especially in the context of like it was made in the early 80s. So this is towards the tailor end of like what second wave feminism, where women are like being more white women are like trying to be more independent. And I literally felt like it was almost like a cautionary tale for white women. Like, don't get rid of your like racist white companion, like stay with the whites, you know? Because at the end, like, even after she screams at the guy or whatever, at the end, that dog ends up dying, right? So it's like, what were you doing? Like, she ended up looking kind of dumb for being on the side of like black people, if she was even on their side ultimately. So yeah, I kind of agree with what you said, Mary.
I think that it was the movie, they were trying to make it sad because of the music. So like if when the dog died, like when they shot the dog, like when they were doing it, like it was supposed to be sad.
Yeah, like that's a good point, Z. Like, we're supposed to take pity on white supremacy. Like we're supposed to feel bad because they can't change or some shit. Like
I'm watching Beethoven or Lassie or something. Like, oh no, it's like it's not the Dog and the Hound. Like, this dog.
This dog is the damn devil.
It's a hound, the real hound.
How many of
So what you say, Trey?
how many of you how many of you think white people would love to have a dog like this right now today?
All of them.
A lot.
All of them.
All.
I don't know. I don't know, man. God damn.
There's definitely black people that would want a dog. It's just like they could say that they have like on guard protection, like come rain, come shine, and it's just as equivalent of a gun. That protection.
I
think a lot of people may want a dog like this.
Yeah, they won't admit it though. Some of them will, but a lot of people will not admit that they want a dog.
That's definitely like the politics of our day. Like the white supporters are like the ones who would have the white dog and just not admit it. But like the Trump supporters are the ones who would be proud about the white dog. But they still own the white dog, both of them.
Yep.
I bet they think that movie's a goddamn instruction guide or some shit.
Yeah. I think some other people should go now.
I think it was a good bad movie. I can definitely see a lot of white, like if this movie came out in theaters, I can definitely see this movie getting like an Avenger applaud after the movie was over. And I know white people I know white people are eating this shit up. I love it.
They'll be crying in the end.
Yeah, because like this is goodness to white people. Like the one individual bad thing is like taken care of, not the entire system, not the root of it. You know, it's just like okay, and there's no there's no like repayment for the black people who are maimed, like the woman
Maimed or killed. Yep.
She can sue like the black families that come out and say we want this dog killed. We want this dog. No, it was nothing. It was just white standard and white people only think about themselves and their feelings. And that's just white supremacy. 101.
Boom, boom,
Very
bam,
true,
done.
Swat. Very true. I
appreciate
think
you
like
making that point, bro. That's very important.
I think a lot of white people see this as like one of the ways to like cure racism, and even in itself, this movie was still racist. So
As fuck.
Never ending.
It was like the movie thought that it was intelligent. Like the movie thought that it was like making this bold statement, like in a time, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't. It was just
like they were really on to something.
Thought they was fucking special with that shit. Come on, man.
Oh my gosh.
That shit was crazy, man.
Carice, do you have any thoughts on the movie?
Yeah. Anyone else?
It seemed like a suspense thriller, but it was interesting how she just was in denial the whole time until basically somebody had to die for her to get the point.
Yeah.
Of her knowing that her dog is a racist, and you can't. Sometimes curing things is not going to take a month or two. It's going to take years at a time.
Wow.
And the black man was trying to do a job that wasn't designed for him because he didn't create that issue. So he couldn't, basically you can't, try to convert something that you didn't create.
And you also cannot place responsibility on other people's shoulders for issues that you've created. Like you cannot, I can't ask you to fix my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way. There's just no way. Like, of course we can all hold each other accountable and give advice and things like that. But I can't ask anybody on this chat to fix any issues that I have created for myself at all. Like it's not like that messaging of just like passing the buck, like passing the blame or putting the responsibility of fixing an issue onto somebody else for some shit that they didn't even have anything to do with. Like, it's so crazy to me, man. Like, I just really, I don't like, but I think that the movie not only is bad, but it's just worse because the movie is trying too hard to be something, and then it doesn't even live up to whatever expectation it's supposed to be. Like
I feel like she didn't take enough responsibility when it came to her friend getting attacked.
Not at all. No, she didn't take any responsibility.
She didn't take responsibility. You want to side feed the dog. Like, you're not helping the situation. If anything, you just
making it worse. Yeah.
Made it a point why he should have never tried to help you in the first place.
Yeah, Carice, I think you made a good point about her being in denial because that's like to say a lot of white people about white supremacy, not about racism being real, but like they don't really try to do something about it until it's a George Floyd, and then they go out and like join the blacks in the protest, which is like not constructive, but they don't do anything until like a black person is seriously harmed. We can tell them about it. They can be warned over and over, but
I noticed that most white people, and not just because of this movie, but most white people practice willful ignorance. Like they understand what's happening, they know what's happening, but they don't give a fuck what's happening because it's not happening to them. So I don't give a fuck about blacking out your Instagram photos or putting Black Lives Matter in your bio and all that other bullshit. Like that's not real. Like if you're not having conversations, I guess this is going on YouTube. So just in case any white person sees this, which they probably won't, but if they ever do see this shit, if you got white friends that are on some bullshit, or your mom or dad or your cousin Pete or whoever the fuck is on some bullshit, you need to, they need to be addressed. You can't just be like, oh, that's just how they are. Like, because the change won't happen if the people who are, committing these transgressions are not like being told, like, are being called out on their bullshit. Like, they'll just keep being willfully ignorant. And that's not, to me, that's just as bad. That's equally as bad to me, for sure.
Well,
Silence is violence, right? You know what I'm saying?
Out of mind. It's out of sight, out of mind. They don't see it. It don't.
They got televisions like we got televisions. Ain't no fucking way they don't see it. Like they got the internet. This shit is
the
real.
off and on button. Out of
Yeah.
sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and if you see how like even in LA, just how segregated it is, like you could literally live in this like sanitized white enclave, and the only Black people that are around are providing services to you in some way. Like it's very easy for a white person to just like, yeah, literally like what Carice was saying, out of sight, out of mind. Like they've set up a whole city where Black people are literally out of your sight. Like it's pretty crazy.
I hate this world and I hate this movie.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything else to share about the movie?
Just adding to the blatant lies, like when she went to visit her I want to say the other actress because it's not her friend in hospital, and she was like, I wonder what got that dog so spooked, and she was like, I don't know, but like literally just got educated and told that your dog is a racist, but you didn't mention that to like, you don't owe her anything, but you're literally at her hospital side because of the dog. You could have told her the truth, and that just showcased they'll lie in any circumstance.
Willful ignorance.
Yeah,
but that's not willful ignorance. That's manipulation. Yeah, racism and manipulation. Like
you're right. That's even worse.
Yeah, like that's white women to a T.
And this shit is not right, yo. This man, what the fuck, yo? Oh man. Man, this movie got me fucking feeling stressed the fuck out.
I'm just glad that I watched it before my daughter watched it due to her phobia of dogs. It just would have made it 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Somebody with a dog fear, this shit would definitely reinforce that.
And isn't your daughter also like kind of afraid of like white spaces and white people? So this is like
no, that's me.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Like I'm the one that if I'm in a room full of white people,
I'm looking for the
get
exit.
very antsy and uncomfortable.
Me too, same.
But I always I need to be in a space where it's just diverse, or it could be Black people, but it just can't be a full. How white people feel about us is the way I feel about them too.
Interesting. I can't say I'm a big fan of white spaces myself. Like, just to be around, like if I'm the only Black person in a room, I will literally try to leave. Like, well, I don't want to fucking, I don't want to be like a showcase for you. Like what is this shit, yo? Sorry, man. I apologize.
No, it's all right. I feel like the way that white people have, the European whiteness mindset has trained dogs to basically be their weapon for them is exactly the same way that the relationship that they have with their gun. And of course, Dr.Frances Cress Welsing, like specifying and like showing the example of like how they see dog as their god, or it is synonymous to their best friend, or they hold them at a higher level than us. I feel like, okay, what was the point that I was trying to go with this? I'll come back.
You got it, Barry. Come on, you got it.
It'll come back.
All right, put a pin on it.
Please continue.
Any more comments about the movie?
I think I've said all I can say about it, honestly. Very non-enjoyable. But I guess that's not the point for this movie, I guess.
Did anyone learn anything new watching this?
Yeah, that they literally make a movie for everybody to like basically encourage everybody's mindset. Like how I could like maybe pick up that a movie might be for like the edge. Like I know a movie can be for everyone, but I feel like certain directors have like a target audience or a demographic that they're trying to appeal to. And I definitely feel like it was young, angst, 80s, 90s women growing up, just teaching them or like coding them on their role in society. And like, yeah, giving them the loopholes and possibilities. That's all.
Like you could be driving on the road one night and discover a devil dog, and then you could be a black murderer. So hey, you better keep your white men in the house. FYI. Oh my God, man! What an impossible situation.
Same mindset.
And also, I know the movie is called White Dog, but is that an actual like term? Like, is that like a
White God?
That's what I was just gonna mention. I really appreciate it, like the mythos in the movie had behind the term white dog, because they're like, this is here a white dog, and you can tell that they knew what white dog meant. Like they knew it was a dog that has been systematically trained to hate black people and attack black people. Like they could tell, So I like that, but I don't know if it's like a term, because I'm sure you could train like all colors of dogs were trained to like hunt black people during antebellum slavery. It wasn't just white dogs,
I never believed that when I was younger, but my dad used to always say that when we was younger, and I'm like, oh, it's a cute little animal or whatever. He'd be like, oh, yo, that's like a Spanish dog, or that's like a white dog. That's not like just like a regular old dog just because it's cute and you see it. And I'd be like, no, dogs are dogs, or cats are cats. Like you can't train somebody to be something they're not. But I guess I was wrong.
And how exactly do you train it? Like, hey, black people, like how many black people have had to like suffer and die just for you to train this dog to want to murder it? I know you don't use pictures,
Well,
I don't know.
Well, he said that you use winos and junkies and people that are fucked up, and down on society right now. Shit.
They pay them to beat the dog. They pay them to beat the dog from when it's a puppy.
Yeah, so the dog can have the hate in his heart immediately.
But that let me know that things are taught and not just, oh, I was raised like I was born this way. No, it's taught.
Yeah, trained.
Yeah, you could be conditioned to hate. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
when I was a little
there's a deleted scene in Training Day where they mention like a racist dog being trained by like the police force by a black person, but as the scene got deleted.
Damn.
What are you gonna say, Mary?
Well, yeah, I was gonna say when I was a little girl, I was going home from primary school with my nan, and like I never used to be scared of dogs at all. And like I'll never forget, it was a French woman as well. Like she was just holding her dog, and I was just running because I was almost home, and I was running to cross the road. And then the dog leaped out at me, and she had it on a leash though, but it literally just like opened its mouth like how that canine looked, like really scary, leaped out at me. I don't know what brand of dog it was, very similar. And then I screamed and I ran to my grandma, and then she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And like in her French accent, she was like, did it open at you? Did it open? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And I didn't think nothing of it, but then I thought to myself, like, I kept on thinking, why did she ask me, like, did it open its mouth at me? And I thought maybe she wanted to know if her dog was a killer, would it be a killer or not? But yeah, that kind of like stuck in my mind. That was my first experience of like a dog coming at me. I never used to be scared of dogs before that. And then like when I was a bit older, I was going to school, and then a dog, it looked kind of similar, like, because those Rottweiler scary dogs, and like I was with my friends, and then what did he say? He was like, I don't care, that dog is racist. And I was like, how can a dog be racist? It's colorblind. And he was like, oh, he can tell the hues. But like the energy that he actually had like an actual fear of dogs, and I didn't get it up until but then every time I think about the way the dog opened up at me, I don't know, like I'm not really scared of dogs, but that comes to my mind every now and then.
The movie might have triggered that for you, for sure. And also something that I just thought about right now while you were speaking, Mary, is that I think that maybe Swad and Trey could attest to this too. Maybe, I don't know. But in the hood, there are always, well, when I was coming up, there was always dogs. Like my mom used to be like, if you see stray dogs, stay away from them. Like, because if you would see them, they'll be ready to fucking jump on you in an instant. But people do a lot of fucked up shit to their dogs. Like they clip their ears. They do all kind of things to make the dogs more aggressive. Like they'll hit them, they'll feed them raw steaks and shit, so the dogs can like start developing like taste for blood. Like they do all kind of terrible things to these dogs, and then the dogs are violent. And then the hood is just full of stray dogs that are violent as fuck. And I'm sure a lot of these dogs are in the streets right now because they probably attacked their owners and got kicked the fuck out. Like that's something that's just stirring in my mind just right now after hearing your story about how that dog, was being aggressive towards you like that. So I kind of feel bad for the dogs in the hood that's out here, just fucked up because they had an owner that treated them like shit, and now they just out here in the streets afraid of people. So
yeah. I definitely used to make sport of getting chased by dogs. It was pretty exhilarating.
You fucking psycho, bro.
It was never exhilarating. It was horrible.
Scary.
I got bit.
Oh man.
All kind of stuff by dogs. And by the time, like, I remember my brother had to beat a dog down the street from my house when I would walk to like school in elementary. It will always try to get me. My brother eventually beat him. So he stopped beating me. And the owners like kicked them out. They just was like, you're no use.
See, but the owners made that dog that way though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they made him that way.
They didn't take any responsibility.
Since he wasn't that way anymore, they let him go. They disown you. If you're not doing your job, I guess. They disown you.
Carice, I want to touch on what you just said right there. If you're not doing your job, they disown you. Your neighbors were practicing white supremacy because the dog was not fitting into the role that they assigned for the dog. And so once that dog outlived his usefulness, they discarded the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of them. And they used to laugh when it was because it would chase all the little black kids. They used to laugh. They thought it was so funny. And then eventually that dog got beat up. And now they was like, oh, I don't want that dog anymore.
Was it who were the people doing it? What were they classified as?
Oh, Hispanic.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you already know how that is in the hood. Hispanic and black division is made up anyway. That shit is not even real, but it's been so reinforced in our neighborhoods. Yeah. Like that growing up, they're telling the Mexicans and blah 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 blah. Like, even though we all live in the same community, like the hate that I'm not saying you personally, but the hate that like Mexicans feel against black people or black people feel against Mexicans is fucking not real. Like this is made up nonsense, and people have been buying into this shit for so long. It's really to our detriment. Like,
I guess the Hispanics think, oh, it's not me, it's really you, but really they don't care about you neither. So
yeah, I mean,
what would it matter?
The one some Hispanic people, obviously not all of them, and I'm not trying to make general broad statements, but some Hispanic people can be white passing, so that's something that unfortunately, like they can kind of use to their advantage that we cannot. But even still, like it's more important for us to have a united front as minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're not
the majority. Yeah, we're like, you can say non-white or black and non-white people, but we're not a minority. That's all.
I know that's why I did because I'm just saying white people have made us feel like we are minorities. I know that we're not, like, based on like global information and shit like that, but I'm just saying, like, that's just the verbiage they use. So
like this dog down the street, it's a boxer, it's very cute. And when they first got it, used to hop the gate and used to come in our yard and he used to try to play and all this stuff. And its ears is down. And it was just so cute. And it always say, it'll cry to us every time it sees us. Now we see it. It's been a couple of months. We see it. It lives like down the street from us. And his ears is up. He barks at us now.
Because they fucked him up.
They don't see like we don't know him. And we see him every other day. And I'm just like, wow, just how he looks. He looks different. Because his ears used to be always down. Now it's up.
Because
And
it's because they
look
clipped
at
his
that as
ears. That's what they
real.
did.
No, they didn't clip it. It's just it stands up now.
Oh,
Yeah.
It stands
really?
up
Because he's
and
like
and he looks
aggressive.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Oh
just
shit!
like,
I
oh,
didn't.
he don't know us no more. We done.
He's probably
Yeah,
through like a lot of trauma. And his owners are probably beating the shit out of or beating.
yeah, more than likely,
Yeah.
for sure.
Probably a dog.
That's fucked up, man. Yeah. What's the next movie, y'all?
I want to watch Black
Wait,
Orchid.
are we done? Can we not? Are we done talking about this movie? Can we get some closing comments?
I learned that you can't trust everything that's cute with 4 legs. So
I don't know if I learned. I mean, I just understood more the role that dogs play in the psyche of white people, and I understood more their attachment to dogs because I have never felt an interest or a desire to like be around a dog. So that made it was very interesting to me.
yes, I'm a cat lady, so I don't have those issues. I
Better
like
be
dogs,
careful you don't get a
but
racist
I'm a
cat.
cat lady. No, I don't none of them races. I don't have them problems.
My closing comments. Great decoding tour. The dog and the white man have a long history. You know, the Rome was built supposedly by these 2 kids who were raised by the wolves.
Yeah, Romulus and Remus, right?
Very, very symbolic. Dogs and whiteness are synonymous together. You know, like they are issues, but they are definitely like one of nature, and they can be molded as such as we see.
As we see fit. As man.
Yeah, two unnatural things: a dog and a white person. My closing comments.
Man, that. Yep. Sorry. So what's anybody else got any closing comments? Or are we gonna pick the next movie? Ezra,
Yeah, I
Ezekiel.
really enjoyed decoding the movie with you. I would never watch the movie outside of this context, but I am actually. Oh yeah. I would have.
I'm never gonna watch this movie again for certain.
All right, everyone.